Can share a screen.
Great.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for allowing us to take a little bit of your time here.
Thanks for being here. We're so happy that the PM Guild got to get involved. So this is everything we could hope for. Thank you.
Everything you could hope for. Amazing. Wow. I hope I can live up to your expectations. You guys are actually the first team we're going to demo our live production instance to. So without further ado, let's take a look here. So for those unaware, Governator is a token-enabled voting platform funded by the DAO. Kicked off about 9 months ago. So we use Chippy as our brand because that's what you do, right? This is our site, governator.xyz, and I'm going to quickly just take you through creating a poll. Real quick before we start, who here has created polls with Sesh before? Is that something that you guys do commonly, uncommonly?
Yeah, we use it a decent amount. We use it for most of our governance and voting.
Perfect.
And then
the screens you'll see will be oddly familiar to you. Don't let that distract. We took a lot of inspiration from Sesh because they are really easy to use, and so we want to be as well. So quickly, I'll take you through creating a poll. We're going to vote on something really important, and then a second really important thing, and then I'll show you the ins and outs of voting thereafter. So logging in, super simple. We use Discord as our OAuth provider. We'll be presented with any amount of communities that you have access to and that have integrated with Governator. So in this case, we're going to take a look at the Bankless DAO. We've run a few polls in the past, and you'll be able to see your polls that you've created as well as the individual results and the ability to delete them as well. And here we have the poll creation process. So, really important poll. Should links change his PFP back to Chippy? Vote carefully, folks. So we are actually going to make this a bank-weighted poll. You will need to connect your accounts to Governator, and all of the bank token balances will be private, and the result at the end will simply show a percent split between the two. So during the poll, all votes are shielded, and the vote at the end is completely obfuscated. We'll make this a really quick poll. Let's say we'll end it here at the top of the hour. But we'll be generous. We'll say that PM Guild active members are the only folks that we can vote with, the Discord role tag. And we'll select bank token weighted. We also have DAO punks and poolies. Standard, your classic one vote is one vote. But today we're going to play with bank token weighted voting. And we'll send that to the PM general channel here. So there you have it. Quick 30 seconds, create a poll. Oh, actually really important. We have emojis. So we'll use the plus, the thumbs up for yes, and upside down smiley face for no.
Yeah, only problem is there is a no option in this poll. Because
Yeah.
yes for links changing his PFP back to Chippy.
Yes, and yes also. That's what you wanted?
Yeah. Don't give him a chance.
Makes sense to me. Cool. And bada bing, bada boom, published in PM General, where you all be prompted to select an emoji. None of you have accounts yet with Governator, so when you go to click on your vote, a small ephemeral message will pop up with a small link to pass you back to Governator XYZ to connect your account. So you can see here on the account connection page that you'll have the ability to connect your wallet. In this case, I have we only have MetaMask enabled for now, but we'll be able to add more wallets in the future. So sorry to anyone and their other wallets, including me, but MetaMask only for now. the connection will just make the account available to be verified. Once you verify, or once you click verify, you'll go through a classic sign message throw. This looks like the sign in with Ethereum. You just want to sign a message that proves that you own that address. So I've just signed a message off screen with MetaMask, and now this wallet will be this wallet address will be included in token balance queries when we vote. So after you've connected your wallet that has some bank in it, that can be on both mainnet and Polygon, you can come back and click vote, and your bank balance across chain will be added to the calculation of voted weight. So that's all I have for you. And about the poll ends in about 52 minutes. So I understand that your wallet's not nearby. You're on your phone. You have to unlock it. A ledger might be there. These things are things that we want to help solve for. So instead of having to sign with, like, for example, Snapshot, you have to sign every time you want to vote. This allows us to essentially verify our address once. Within reason, we might say, okay, wallets that haven't verified in the last 7 days or 30 days are no longer available to be included in tallies. But to quickly click a thumbs up emoji or upside down smiley face and have your bank balance be used or useful. There's all sorts of ways that we can compose the token queries in the future. So these voting strategies here can be really anything that we want. Quadratic voting. I imagine things like Twitter followers or number of times you voted. Just like the world is our oyster with our ability to query all data and kind of squeeze it down to some sort of equation that says voting weight equals this. And so I'm really excited to explore all the ways that we can fit governance and improve governance to get authentic voting and to make voting really, really easy. So that's all I have for you with the bank token weighted voting and Governator. Does anyone have any questions?
James, real quick, I see that there's 2 votes on there already. Could you show what that looks like? Because is it shielded? Can we see who voted or how they voted?
Sure. So the only thing available right now to us on this back end is this shield. So we know that we have 2 votes. We don't know how much bank has been used. We don't know who has voted. And so in about 48 minutes, both this screen as well as the PM General channel will reflect the result, which again does not include total ballots or users who have voted. And that's really important to us because we've seen in the past that sesh polls that are unshielded or snapshots that are unshielded say, oh well, 98% of people are voting yes. I might as well not even vote. Why would I vote no? People know that I voted no. I have to explain myself. There's been many situations at the DAO in which someone's been say, hey, why did you vote no? Please explain yourself. I shouldn't have to vote. I shouldn't have to explain myself in certain cases, right? And so I think that shielded voting is really, really, really important for protecting authentic votes and protecting people's sanity. So we've made that the default here in Governator.
This is very, very cool. Thank you for this demo. And I'm curious, right now we have our elections going on and we're just using the PM active guild member Discord tag. Would you see this, like, would we eventually issue something PM guild specific that would be a part of the Governator versus using the Discord tags, or do you see them kind of still being used in conjunction?
So I think that at the very least, we have parity with sesh. So right now, broadly speaking across the DAO, a sesh role tag, role gated poll is how everything is done. Every election, whether you're in a guild or a grants committee, that's how polls are resolved. We can do that with Governator right now. So without even using any of the token token strategies or connectivity or wallets, we can do exactly what Sesh polls do with role gating. Should we entertain Otter Space or verifiable credentials or any of the interoperable protocols that we want to outside of the simple role in Discord? And again, I think this stretches our imagination to consider that the DAO exists beyond Discord as well. So while Governator right now rests on some of the bones of Discord auth and the bot sending it here, that's not where we're going to rest in the long term. Folks will be able to log in with their wallet. They'll be able to vote on things without ever touching Discord, whether that's on platforms like Matrix or Discourse. And I think that the composability that we will enable here will far surpass what Sesh can provide. And so we'll just be a provider. We'll be able to handle however you want to design your governance.
Cool. I know we've got a tight schedule today, so is there any kind of call to action for us? Do you want us to start, since it's at parity, do you want us to start using this and kind of testing it out and kicking the tires on it?
Yeah, I kick the tires. We've enabled PM general and PM governance channels in the production instance. So
Okay.
you should be able to come in and create polls. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I think that if you guys, the main call to action is, if you hate what you see, please click the feedback button. Very important, right? I can't use this thing. It doesn't work. I expected this to happen. Feedback, feedback, feedback. I'm sure you've heard Link say it many times. Feedback is a blessing. Please, blessings upon us. But I'll let you get back to your tight schedule and get out of your way. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and I'd love to support you in the project. So we'll take this back as a to do and see if we can start running some of our polls through Governator then.
GCal, real quick, I did put a poll in our governance section to see if the one that's not token weighted, I put in our governance section.
Oh, cool. I see it. Yep.
That's there. And also I know sometimes, filling out a form, no one wants to, if you choose not to, like if you just want to put feedback somewhere for me, that's fine too. I'll get it to them.
Awesome.
Oh, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
James.
thank you. Okay, Techno X, we will kick it quickly over to you. I know you have a guest with you here too, so I want to make sure we respect their time.
Yeah, hi there everyone, how are you doing? That's a really interesting hearing about the Governator conversation there. So thanks for that, guys. Yeah, I'll just do a really quick precursor, 'cause as we all know, the agenda's pretty packed today. So just before I hand over to Stevie, who's also on the call, just in case anyone wasn't aware, I've been tasked with trying to find a Web3 solution to sell and distribute the PM Guild merch to the members here. So I've been shopping around for solutions, and by total happenstance, I was on a community call over at Sharks DAO a few days ago. I was connected with Stevie, who was also on the call there. And Stevie happens to be working on a product that will enable us to create a Web3 merch store for the bankless physical products, such as the hoodie we've been discussing. And the really interesting thing about what Stevie's been building is that it merges Web3 protocols such as Juicebox, Programmable Funding Protocol, and Splice, a decentralized commerce protocol, with the Web2 merchandise platform Printful. And it just so happens that we can integrate the PBT token utility I was discussing on the previous call alongside Stevie's solution, which will enable Guild members to authenticate their Bankless PM Guild hoodie on the blockchain. Anyway, without further ado, I'll hand you over to Stevie, and I think he's going to run us through a working demo as to how the Web3 merch store aspect can work for us here.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody's time. So yeah, I'm a contributor at Juicebox and Slice, been at both of those for a little bit over a year. And what Slice does is it allows you to create decentralized stores, and on a high level, basically you could sell anything on chain, and if you choose, you could actually accept your own token at ERC if you would like to do that as well. The biggest challenge we've had was trying to source merchandise that is printed on demand through Web3. I own a screen printing company, and so like having inventory is always a big issue. Unless you take pre-orders, and then that pushes the time that apparel arrives to the person. It takes a while because you got to close orders before you do it. So I'm going to share my screen and go through basically um, what it is Slice is doing. And so could you see Slice on the screen there?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. So I created I'm just going to go through like the actual purchase of a hoodie. I created a slicer and named it Bankless Product Store. And so what you do is, and this is on testnet, but we're live on mainnet right now as well. And so created this product store very similar to like a Shopify type experience. And you have your product that you create right here. So in this case, it's a bankless black or gray hoodie. And so what you do is you just click on the shopping cart and you check out and go through the process of the wallet connecting and all that kind of stuff, obviously. And so the one thing as this transaction is going through, is that it's sort of the way it's built right now is that it's sort of the opposite of what we're used to in Web 2, where we're filling out all the forms and selecting the colors and all that stuff. Okay. In this integration, you're basically purchasing the item and then you're adding all of the information later after the fact. So what we call just like redeeming, quote unquote, the product itself. So that transaction went through, and then what I do is I go and redeem the product by going into purchases, and you see this redeem button right here. Then there's going to be these instructions, your address where I purchased it from, like an email if somebody has an issue. You click here, and it takes you to a redeem page. That automatically takes you to the product, and this is sort of where the on-demand thing happens. We've connected with the Printful API and my store on Printful. So I'm able to redeem one unit. I get to pick the size and the color. So in this case, I want a black extra large hoodie. I'm going to fill out the form, like my shipping information, and then I redeem the item. And you can add different fields to the form. So like you could say, where did you hear about us? Like you could add a bunch of different things. And then that product is redeemed successfully. Now, from there, you could see that on my Printful store here, my item is in the queue. And so I can go in and now confirm the order, and then it goes into process, and it's going to be shipped to the person who purchased it right away. I'm not right away. It takes obviously a week or so, depending on where you are. And it's a worldwide shipping thing, which is really helpful because I've had the task of taking apparel and creating it and then shipping it out individually, and it's a really large task. The one interesting thing about Slice also is that it's also a splits protocol, so you're able to split the funds or the profit with really anybody. So if the Printful fulfillment cost is, let's say, $30 for this hoodie, and that includes shipping, and you're charging 45, you can send the $15 worth of ETH to whatever address you want. You can send it to, let's say, the Bankless multisig, or you could send it to a Juicebox project. In my case, I'm sending the profits to a Juicebox project. And that's pretty much it. You can add as many products as you want. And, obviously you have to cushion it to cover shipping. So usually between $5 and $10 is a good amount. You may lose a little bit on the shipping. There may be a little bit extra, but in reality, you're not supposed to be making money off shipping. but it's sort of will equal itself out. And then Printful takes care of all the taxes and all that kind of stuff, so you don't have to. So, I mean, that's my demo. Hopefully that was, I know that was pretty quick, but does anybody have any questions or?
Could I just add something, Stevie? I think, yeah, really great demo. Thanks for that. I think we have the ability to like mint an NFT like per like hoodie item, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah. So there are some hooks that are by default you can enable them. So thank you for reminding me of that. So if I were to go to this Bankless store and add another product, you do all this sort of stuff right here. You can allow multiple purchases, or you can make it so that they could only buy one of these. You could also limit the availability to make it more exclusive. You can charge or set your prices in ETH or in USD. And then here are those hooks that you're talking about. So you can mint an NFT on purchase. You can token gate it. You can NFT gate it. You can create an allow list. And then you could send that profit. That's what I was talking about earlier. You can send that ETH to a different address. And in reality, because Slice is a splits protocol, you could actually split the profit with multiple people. There's a process to do that as well. So yeah, the mint NFT feature is right here.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. Especially the way that additional sensors can be added, like through the hooks, to kind of add additional utility and extend the kind of pipeline in the funnel, for different initiatives. And it's really cool because we have an individual NFT, like per item. We can pair that with a physical back token, which is just an NFT as well. And that allows us to then authenticate the actual hoodies like in the IRL. So we can get that working alongside what Stevie's got here, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, so we've done it on mainnet already, and it's worked. And that order came actually from Italy, so wanted to kind of stress test it a little bit. And yeah, I mean, we're sort of ready to. I think the big thing about on-demand printing or on-demand products is just the simplicity of it, and you're not having to spend a lot of time on, you know, shipping and going to the post office and all that kind of stuff. And there's no worries about inventory. I think you can limit the amount, or you can create that allow list, which might be helpful for people who own a certain amount of bank. But yeah, does anybody have any? I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but does anybody have any other questions?
I think my only question would be, this was a great demo, and thank you for this. It's that's pretty incredible. And I think TechnoX, like I think I asked last time, maybe the one before, is what do we need to move the ball forward on this? I really like where the designs are coming out, and it'd be cool for us to, over the next week or so or 2 weeks, be able to bring this to pretty close to some kind of production.
That was my question too, GCal.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is just getting the artwork together, probably setting up the store and the products the first couple times. And then and I don't know how TechnoX wants to handle this, so maybe I'll let him chime in, but I think from our end, we're ready to go. It's just a matter of putting the products together and kind of setting a timeline of how you want to release certain things, or if you want to just put everything up there at one time. I mean, it really is no cost out of pocket except for gas to set things up. So, I just don't know if you want to saturate it or if you want to just kind of keep things exclusive.
Yeah, all really good points, Stevie. Yeah, just to kind of talk about the actual submerged product itself. We've got some new designs in there. I was chatting to Chameleon about this as well, and I think me and Chameleon are going to sync again, and we also talked about this on the last call we had. And hopefully, if people like the designs we have at the moment with this whole kind of GM PM kind of sort of strap line on the hoodies, and we want to proceed there. I think Chameleon would still be good to add his logo as well. We were kind of talking about maybe using the red and the white and the black on the logo too, just to kind of synchronize the color palettes. But yeah, it's kind of really down to what everyone in the community thinks about the current design concepts for the hoodie. And then, as Stevie suggests, we can then talk about exactly how we're going to create this line and present it in the Web3 store.
What I can do is I could create a product, just one, based off of, the designs that you were talking about, and then put it out there. You share the link and kind of take it from there. And I can do it on mainnet so that it's sort of ready to go if people wanted to get that one particular item. But yeah, I mean, we're ready, so we can have this out ASAP. My wife is a graphic designer, so she does a lot of artwork for me currently. So we can handle that in-house if you'd like, unless, somebody else already has that done. So yeah. I guess the one question also from me, and this doesn't have to be answered right now, is, where do you want the funds to go? And how many splits do you want? Is that something that you all have thought about? Those kinds of little details so that we can set it up the right way.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe what might be a good idea here is if Stevie and I create like a questionnaire of just kind of like various different sort of facts we need to kind of move forward, and we can share that in the DAO and then probably input the data in there so collectively over the course of next week. And then once we kind of have that, I think me and Stevie once again we can probably put a proposal together about sort of like the implementation side of things. What the actual DAO budget is, like sort of at the moment, to actually sort of execute on this, and small details like how many hoodies are needed, etc. I think, does that sound good to you, Stevie? Like creating a questionnaire, just like all the relevant sort of data we need, and we can probably move forward from there.
Yeah, that sounds great. And we can come up with a few designs and maybe release the first two based off of, what people like, and then
So-
we could just keep adding products from there.
Sounds good. Does that kind of answer your question, GCal? I know there's a lot there. That's why I was just thinking maybe the questionnaire side of things might be a good way to approach this.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was some kind of order size or a scale that we needed to hit to make this reasonable. I think we don't know what people's price points are yet. So that makes sense to me of let's get some kind of questionnaire out there. Let's finalize the designs. And then, so is there a minimum order number that we need?
That's the really cool thing, and why I pursued this project is because there's not. So
Awesome.
if one shirt gets sold of one design and 100 get sold of another, it doesn't matter, So the only thing that is like important to understand is that, just in terms of and I won't take up too much more time, but in order for Printful to fulfill the orders on that end, there needs to be a credit card that's charged when you confirm, right? And so the ETH that is coming in needs to be converted into fiat to cover that credit card charge. So I think, I don't want to make it too confusing, but it's the ETH gets stored in the slice or in the slicer, and we have to release that ETH every now and then, like let's say once a month, to pay that credit card statement. So I don't really have an issue if in the beginning, which I think it's actually my suggestion in the beginning, to sort of let myself and Techno kind of run this. And I don't know, Techno, I don't want to overstep here, but that would be my suggestion. And then as everybody feels more comfortable, sort of hand it off and let, this organization or this group run it the way they see fit. And then they feel comfortable adding. So,
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, from an onboarding perspective, it's just one of those things where I think it would be useful to kind of like have this at the start to kind of sort of onboard like the operators who want us to manage this, whether that's me and a few other people, however the DAO decides to go forward. But yeah, like I think yeah, we'll start the questionnaire. I think we've given a lot of information, Stevie. It's quite a lot. There's quite a lot to process there. So if we whittle it down some questions, we get some answers, put into a nice proposal, if I could a budget and a timeline, then we can probably just like start making a decision collectively.
Real quick, can I ask why GMPM?
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, just like from the basis that maybe this is a bit, maybe it gets lost, maybe not the best strap line, but GM from the kind of good morning side of things, and then PM from the project management. And it's just really a play on kind of like timelines. So, kind of like PM can mean past midnight. It's kind of like relative to like GM, and it's done in this kind of digital alarm clock like typeface or font. So I don't. Hopefully, the kind of like the lull translates, but maybe if it doesn't, then we can go something else.
Yeah, I'm not saying I like it. I'm just curious how it evolves.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of like we had a cool me and Chameleon a couple of days ago, and we was chatting through ideas, and we just kind of threw that one out there. But I think the plan is that Chameleon was going to help with like finalizing the merch hoodie designs. Maybe like Stevie's like wife can help with that as well on some element too. Sounds like we've got loads of good resource here, but yeah, that's just the kind of like the first concept. We can create some more as well if that's needed.
Yeah, she's definitely willing to help. We've been working together obviously for a long time. And I just wanted to throw it out there that if anybody else had any questions, that you think of later, like my DMs are open, please, like I've been around the space for a long time and like I said, contributing to Juicebox as well. So anybody has anything to talk about or anything, just please reach out. And I very, very much appreciate the time and that Techno and the rest of you have given me. So Techno, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure, Stevie. And yeah, big thanks to the gang here as well who've given me the time to explore this.
Yeah, I'll throw one more round of thanks. I'm just thrilled you're here and we're starting to see a finish line with this. I think once we got our logo, we all got excited about some merch and getting to wear our swag around to some of the different conferences that are coming up. So I think, you'll be seeing some orders at some point. We're all excited to get that moving.
Very cool. I'm excited to see this solution become sort of mainstream too, and this is like a really good visible group to do that with. So thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Cheers, guys. Thanks for having us on.
You bet. All right, I am going to move over to the Intro to PM course, and I'm going to attempt, hopefully, I can share a monitor here. I've had trouble with that before. Here we go, screens. All right, so I'm going to share my screen too, because I want to bounce between a couple things. All right, is right now everyone seeing the Intro to Web3 Notion? Some thumbs up or some acknowledgement here.
Yes.
Yep, and then if I move this, are you seeing the course underneath it?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, so I want to start by saying that there's no pride of authorship around this. This needs feedback, and it really was. I think a big accomplishment for us this season would be to release a course, and I really hope we can put our flag in the ground on that over the next few weeks. So, I just wanted to put some work in to put something up. Sprinkles, you had gotten it started, so I built out around the framework of that. And then what I did is I took the competency matrix I had talked about and walked through and really just kind of defined each of the different areas and competencies within the category. So that's the way this is structured. I've not built in any of the knowledge checks. So what I need from you is this is an exact mirror, what you see here, of what is in Bankless Academy. So all of the H1s become their own, and this is where I'm going to start to pop back and forth. So this H1, which is the introduction, maps up to this right here. So all the text and all the headings map into the course. It's actually pretty remarkable the way that this was all built. Must have that misspelled. So I need folks to kind of do two things. Go through the course, just like this. So it's going to look like a Bankless Academy course. I'm not a designer, nor am I an author. So this needs potentially some proofreading. Anyone with any kind of instructional design, that would be amazing. Background, that would be amazing. It also needs some graphics because it just feels a little bit plain right now. But you'll see here the manager competencies. So this bulleted list here maps back to that competency matrix that I've presented a few times, and we've presented again with Justice. And then so once you see strategy, now we're in strategy, and OKRs and KPIs are part of strategy. And then it's going to move to planning, iteration planning, and road mapping are part of planning. And then it just kind of continues like that in, can't see the bottom here. So I need you to go through the course as it is like this, and then go into this Notion, and there's got like maybe leave comments, because what I'm going to do is if you want to make a change here or someone makes a change, I'm going to paste this over. Let's see if I can. Bankless Academy. I'm going to try and do this live, which is never a good idea, right? Doing a live demo. So there's this PM intro lesson here. When I make a change here, so I'll do it just to show you. I'll change this to MGT. I'll refresh this. I'm going to have to go backwards, unfortunately. Bear with me a minute here to navigate back. Right there, MGT. So you can change, I can change this live very easily, but what I don't want to do is give access to everyone to this. So what I will do is port over any of your updates that are in here. So right now, everything in here is an exact copy of the Bankless Academy Notion, and also matches everything in this course here. I'll pause because I know I covered that a little bit clunky, but does it make sense what the ask is?
Totally.
Okay. So the thing I haven't done, which I also could use some help with, is there's an example at the bottom. Well, nope, it's not in here. I'll paste one in. Let me bring one up actually, because I think that's important. I believe that this has one. I need to build in, or we need to build in knowledge checks. So I left a really basic their example here. So again, these are H1s, and these are the different knowledge checks. So we need to build those in periodically throughout the course, how and where we want them as well. So after we leave certain segments, we want to build in some knowledge checks. So I haven't done that at all, and this is just a really basic one. I figure that I can kind of copy and paste and change. So that's the other piece that I need some help with.
Yeah. GCal, I can get on that page now.
Oh, you can. Great.
I can get on that one now, but I can't get on the Bankless Academy page. I can get on the pipeline page.
So you can't get into this one right here, Sprinkles?
Hold on.
So Bankless Academy lessons PM intro. And McKeel, I'm thinking once we have this built out, this is our intro to Web3 project management. This I would hope all active members, or I should say, it should become required, as whether it's our first quest or something like that. If someone comes into the guild, we can point them right to this, and we'll have a mint kudo at the end of it, similar to all the other courses. But this would be a requirement for active membership to have been through this education course.
Yes, to buttress what you said, I mentioned something like this to Sprinkles. I think at the beginning of this season, that it would be okay to have something like First Quest. That's what we were using for the DAY. So I think this course is actually a very great, a very great use case to use for the First Quest. So depending on the outcome of the review from members, I think we are set to use that for the first quest. At least that will give folks a bit of what the PM grid is about before coming for onboarding and everything else.
Cool.
So they get to understand this one.
And I put here with this course, making an assumption here that the course is designed for someone already familiar with project management, kind of project management basics, but primarily or likely in a Web 2 context, and we'll assume some basic understanding of Web 3 and DAO vocabulary terms. So, because otherwise we've got to start talking about what Agile is, what iterations are, and breaking out what different DAO or Web 3 vocabulary. So that's kind of the level that I see this being at is we'll understand project management at a high level, and we won't be defining any of the basic terms. But there is a way, and this is where I need some help from Bankless Academy or Sprinkles. There is a way where you can kind of like add a block of code that underlines this and then defines, you would hover over it and it would define the term. So if we had, I don't know, I was seeing if I could find a good example. You know, if we wanted to put a
Chain-based application.
DAO in there, we could. What was that?
So I was just thinking of a word in there that you could define blockchain-based application.
Yeah, so something like that. So I think we maybe want to highlight some of the terms that, yes, we're expecting a basic understanding, but it would be good to also have a hover over reminder of here's what the definition of that is.
I wonder if there's a need for one like a step before this almost.
Probably, and I wondered if that was
More of an onboarding.
yeah.
Like Nikhil was saying.
Yeah, I wonder if some of the intro courses in Bankless Academy are actually prerequisites to this, and if we could almost say that of this assumes you've taken, you know, this Bankless Academy course, and maybe we even point to some more general project management materials.
Well, I feel like I'd like to have in it, or for me, I'd like to have in it, different ways of communication, down in Web3 and like right ways to communicate, different ways to communicate, just differences. They're not project management specific, but things that as a project manager you need to know in order to communicate effectively in a DAO.
Yeah, I think there definitely is more material that could tie to this, or yeah, I see nonviolent communication just came up. Absolutely. So that's where I would say go through, take this as if you're taking the course, again, knowing that it's not probably designed and artistically all that enjoyable to go through. And as you go through it, let me go back again now to Project Management Guild. As you go through it, add some comments here. And I don't know, D1, I just may need some help. People will need access to this as they want to go through it. But let's really try and use the comments function. Or I don't know, is there a good track changes in Notion? What's D1? Let me kick it over to you. Is there a good way for people to make some edits here that I then can port back over, or Sprinkles and I can port back over to the Bankless Academy Notion? Or I can hit you up on the chat on that. But that's really the ask. I don't know if it's worth, you know, us going screen by screen here and talking about it. I think it'd be great if people could have a async takeaway to go into this specific page here. And again, I'll show how to get to it one more time. Right now, I just stuck it right on the front. So there's an intro to Web3. And as you see this right now, that is what is in the course that is linked here. So go through this course and make some comments in here, and Sprinkles and I will continue to reconcile them. And then I think the biggest thing I need help with is I went through one of the Bankless Academy courses today, and they're really nice. The visuals and graphics they have there are excellent. That is out of my wheelhouse. So if we want to add any custom graphics or things like that to dress this up, that's a place I can't even begin to contribute.
So talking about the graphics aspect, I think it's okay if we there's some of the project manager members that are graphics designer that are also designers. So we could add that as some as a task on the Kanban board, or we could bounce it out as a tax on bounty board for all designers in the DAO to to take it in. I feel the problem with that one is that if they don't know what they are design, okay, we could just add that as a description so they know exactly what they are designing for. And then the other one is the mirror, the writers for the mirror, uh, mirror. You want to mention that, Jika?
Yep. The mirror article that we had out there has been posted, so I took care of the most recent one. But I think we want to keep a shipping cadence of those. So that one I just grabbed a generic graphic that kind of showed two heads with the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation connected. But I think it's an opportunity for someone to get to be creative, to read an article and say, I want to reflect my artwork here, and we can tag you in that artwork. So there's a lot of opportunity to contribute and be creative, especially as we're starting to publish some of this more publicly now. That can become part of your portfolio of, here's an article I written that got published by the PM Guild. Here's my artwork that was featured in the PM Guild article too.
Yeah, exactly. So also that also leaves space for writers in PM Guild. If you're a writer in PM Guild, we really need your help with the mail article writing. But if we can't get a writer, we'll probably just have to bounce it out to the Writers Guild. I'm in talks with the TC for the Writers Guild anointing Thompson. So whatever the outcome of this meeting is will determine if we bounty it out or not. So before we bounty it out, we want to make sure there is space for folks in PM Guild to take that on. So that would also be calculated towards the active member for for the PM Guild. So if you are a writer, you could just indicate in the PM general so we know okay you are open to take on the tax. So now we have the design tax and the writing tax um, available.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like now, someone's logo is going to be on a hoodie that we're all going to rock. It's pretty cool. That's what I really love about working in a DAO is you get this opportunity to flex that creative muscle and try some new things, and you never know that the thing you create is becomes published or on something we're all wearing around to permissionless or ETH Denver or something. All right, I'm going to come down off the share. Are there any questions? Does anyone want me to navigate to this or through this again? Any questions on the ask? All right, I'm going to stop streaming then. So I'm gonna go open forum to the other role holders from here. That was I'm amazed and impressed we covered that much good material in under an hour.
I really am too, to be honest with you. I think that was awesome. I'm wondering if anyone had a chance to vote on either of the two bills. Or are there any? Does anyone have any issues?
I was able to. I connected my wallet and was able to vote.
Perfect. I think the description for the task should be written. So were you able to connect to your wallet, or did you need any help with that? Did you say that simply, Anna? I got it wrong.
Simply Anna, what tax are you talking about right now? Is it the design tax or the writer's tax, or is it for the poll, the denominator poll? Yes, yes, Ernest. So that was why I mentioned that we have it open to PM members. But the problem with writing is if we can't, like, we really have less folks coming up to say they want to take up the writing, and that's more like more works on the roll of that. So I was hoping that we could get writers from the writers guild to come in on that, and then we can always like review whatever they wrote before we can before we can use it for our mail tax. So more like the writer comes in and writes, and before they can even start writing, I think it's more of the ethics of writing. You should know what you want to write about. So we have the topics. Okay, we are writing about this. They'll probably just have to, like, Google it and everything, and then they come up with the article. Then before we submit it to Miro, we already review the tax to know, okay, this is correct, this is accurate, we can use this. And we can use this, we can always give them pointers. Okay, you maybe want to improve on this, you want to add this and that. So I think it's much more better than only role that's taking on the tax. And that will not go too far. We need to get PM out there, and that's one of the ways we can do that. So if you have any other suggestion, NS, you can as well, like, unmute and weigh in on that. Thank you for the suggestions anyway.
Kiel, quick question: would these tasks that could also be completed to earn active membership? That if somebody could earn their active membership and then complete more.
Yeah. So if you are a project manager, if you have the tag, and then you take on that tax, you can earn your active members from there. Same as the design tax as well. But if you are from the writers guild, you are taking on the tax as more of a bounty than an active member tax. So you probably will need to have that calculated as your, because you don't even have the target ways. Yeah.
Um, Sorry, I want to add to this. What if we ask for maybe they've written something like that before, like checking what they've done before in regards to that to know whether they have the knowledge related to take such tasks, because um, copywriting is actually different from content. Some people are good with content, while some people are not good
Vicky
with
one,
copywriting.
I can't hear you if you are saying anything.
Sorry, can you hear me?
No, am I the only one?
How? I can actually
No,
hear you.
it's not audible.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
no, at all.
Oh shit.
Are you connected to Bluetooth or something?
Oh, I think it's the voice cancellation I'm using. Okay. I will type it.
I can't hear Ricky one either.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Ricky one.
Just a little bit, but you want to check your mic if it's,
Yeah, it's well
or if you
connected.
are connected to a Bluetooth, you might want to, like, disconnect and
Can you hear me now?
no, you are barely audible.
Okay. I'm saying that I think we can also.
Type it in the chat. That may be easier because I can't hear you either.
Okay, but I will type it. I will type it.
So we can. That's what you need.
Yeah. While we're waiting for that, I just want going back and forth with Ernest a bit. I do if you look at the chat, I do think we're at a tough point of the original when this guild was formed and when I joined, there was just some as we call them big brains and giga brains. You had Justice, you had Swole, you had Renee. Obviously, Lynx is still around. You just had some heavy hitters with really strong PM backgrounds and also incredible DAO and Web3 backgrounds. And as things have kind of shifted, the market has changed, and people have had to step in or out during their lives. We're kind of at a different point where the desire was to start to build more of this intro for Web3 PM material. It's almost like we need PM basics. So right now strategically, I didn't think we'd be building PM basics materials. I thought our kind of niche and where we really were trying to drive some differentiation was being a place where we educate on Web3 PM skilling and also provide opportunities to do that kind of work. Paid retros. Sprinkles is a PM for the Governator project. Mikhail and I participated in a cohort with Lynx to learn how to become a Web3 PM. So we are at a strange point of where we want to produce more articles. We want to get some public visibility, which hopefully brings some existing PM in, but we don't have the talent to fulfill the request internally in the DAO and also to write these courses and to write these articles. I say that without really having an answer, just to acknowledge it is kind of where we're at. And Swole's going to be coming to run a strategy session with us, and I think next week is our retro, and then Swole's coming the week after. And I think we got to take a fresh look at where we really spend our time in season 7 around education, is because if the course I just spent a lot of time on putting together is already too high level, then we've got to take a step back and maybe string together what the learning journeys are for someone just to get basic PM skills. But I guess I would argue that that exists for free on YouTube and a lot of places, and maybe we just need to curate it.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Lucas, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so what I was saying is I actually second what you said, Jiko. So Ernest, I feel we actually want to get the articles out there, but we don't have the like capacity to do so. At least if we want to get the articles out there as much as we want to, it will take a lot of time with the rollouters doing the tax, because there is basically like no one coming up to take up tax on the Kanban board. Sometimes you just have the tax there, and then you have no choice as a rollouter than just to complete the tax yourself. Say the articles that Jikal just wrote about. There was the article was there on the board for like, I'm pretty sure it's more than 3 weeks, but no one was taking it on. We need to do something, so we have to do that for ourselves. But if we could outsource that to let's say the writers guild, they have the writers cohort, so they probably have gone through the ethos of writing. At least if you want to write something, if you want to write an article, you need to know what you are writing about. You don't just take up your laptop and start typing and submitting it for an article. You want to know what you're writing about. So that is where their research comes in. So they could basically go to YouTube, watch YouTube videos, use Google, and they could even start with the intros to PM course here. The only problem is if they are not familiar with the PM terminologies, yeah, they could also Google that. So then we can, as the holders, review the articles. We can't just take the articles and even put it up on Mirror just like that. We want to review it, we want to check and say, okay, they made an error here, we could correct something here. At the end of the day, we are all going for the same thing. So the only part is the tax will be bounted. So they are getting paid for it. They sure want to turn in something good. They don't just want to turn in just any material for being paid. But the tax is still open to project managers, project management, guild members. If you still want to take that up, you will also learn in the process. So even if you are trying to learn how to be a project manager, you could use this as a learning curve. Any correction you get from writing the article, starting from when you are researching about the topic you want to write about, you are learning project management. So the correction themselves, they are also ways for you to learn. So you learn from your mistakes. So okay, you are not supposed to put this here, you should put this instead, you should use this. You are also learning. So in that process, we are increasing our active members and also increasing our talent. So I don't see any ways we could go about this unless we want to like say, okay, whenever we can release the articles as a whole, that's when we release that, and that will be kind of like a delay in what we want to put out, but we surely like put it out anyways. So I don't know if you have any other suggestion. You could also add that, Ernest. Over to you, Sprinkles.
I think I'm good. You captured a lot of it. I think we may be talking about a couple different things here. We're talking about the education courses, and then also the articles for the mirror page. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. So, yeah, I think that's where the
Sorry, I know
confusion-
I'm active in the chat right now, but yeah, I think that's what we've got to take a step back. You know, with our retro tomorrow, I'm not tomorrow, a week from today, is we might need to shift strategy. I think when we first set the strategy, we had a different set of contributors with different experience. If this is our core group and we need to take a step back and curate more basic PM material, then that's okay. I think we just haven't made that call yet, and that's probably like a bit of the stress and fatigue that some of us are feeling is we're looking for some help, and the help's not coming just because people don't have the skills to contribute in that way yet. And it's a good problem to have that we have right now is we're starting to get some demand inside the DAO for paid work. Sprinkles picked up paid work. There's paid retros available. So the sooner we can find a path and learning journeys to skilling people up to do those things, that's bank that you're going to earn, and you're going to build those skills and credentials.
Just to clarify here, PM Guild doesn't have a graphic designer, correct? But if we
No.
need graphic designs, we will bounty that out. Correct?
Yeah, and Kool-Aid in the chat here is saying that they have experience there. So yeah, I think we can. So here's a call to action. Is that PM course needs some graphic design in it. You know, you think about like the roadmap piece, like some kind of graphic of a roadmap. You know, whatever it is that you can dream up there. It'd be good to see some of your work, and we can bounty out different. You know, whether it's I don't know how long it takes to create some graphics for here. Is it 500 bank a graphic? Is it 1,000 bank a graphic for some of these different pages of the course? There's a lot of opportunity here to do some work and contribute in a really meaningful way. Sprinkles, you want to close it? I'm sorry, I keep talking. I'm getting excited.
No. I'm just trying to follow along. I feel like I'm a little bit lost, but that's okay. It's actually 6 past the hour, so I wouldn't want to.
Oh wow, yeah. So let's respect everyone's time here. I think amazing call. These are the discussions we need to have, and it's because we're growing and we're starting to produce some content and do some really good work. And we just always want to make sure our strategy matches the talent we have and the ability to get that work done, and then also what the DAO needs. And that'll be what the next few weeks are about. But in the meantime, plenty of work. So please reach out to your role holders, myself, Sprinkles, Mikhail. We can keep you busy if you've got some work you want to do. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you for an awesome call.